Hi everyone, welcome to Entrepreneur Excel Expert Spotlight. Under this series, we bring the best of industry experts to share their wisdom, knowledge, and experience with us. Well, our community is a global community which is connecting over 70,000 entrepreneurs across the globe through different social media platforms, and we help them grow, network, and collaborate. Well, I am your host for today. My name is Devisha Jatakia, and I am a social media trainer and a strategist. I provide training and management services to help entrepreneurs and businesses grow organically on social media. Well, to welcome our today's expert, we have Mr. Anil Goyal, and he is a certified business strategist from IIM Bangalore. And with his 25 years of experience, he's associated with Mexus, Meril, ONGC Subsidiaries, SEZ and Govt major projects. He has successfully completed fundraising for more than 180 corporates and in greenfield projects with collective project cost of 35,000 crores. Yes, you heard it right. And that involves a funding of roughly around 13,000 crores. Isn't it exciting? So without wasting any more time, let's welcome Anil. Hello, Anil ji, kaise ho?
Thank you. All well. Thank you, Devisha ji, for this lovely introduction and providing this platform. Thank you.
By the way, that's just a gist of what exactly he's doing. So, before diving into our question and answer session, Anil ji, can you share your views for the current market dynamics related to the startup environment in India?
Sure. And before I start, let me also congratulate Entrepreneur Excel for providing this beautiful platform to connect business owners and building trust among themselves. So it's a wonderful platform where we can get to learn so many things from our fellow entrepreneurs, where they can share success stories.
Right.
And so coming to the market dynamics, India has got third largest startup ecosystem in the world, with about 77,000 odd startups registered with Government of India as of today. And this is just the number where they have registered. In fact, the number is more than that. If we talk about the companies that have formed, 450,000 companies have been formed during last 2 years itself, 2.5 years itself. So
Wow.
out of that, only 77,000 are registered with the Government of India. And during the first week of, as per the data recently, that is first week of September 2022, India has witnessed 107, that is more than 100 unicorns with a total valuation of $500 billion. So India definitely has become the third largest unicorn hub in the world after USA and China. So startup environment has been doing extremely good in India for last 4 or 5 years, and it is growing exponentially. And in order to catch up with US and China, India need to work very hard in terms of self-sustainable in the field of medical, education, and technology. And for achieving this sustainability, startups can play a very important role, very crucial role. And probably that's why Government of India has been very proactive in providing many schemes where they encourage startups. So that is the current market scenario. I would urge all the new generation entrepreneurs to think of creating wealth by creating startups.
Yes, and if you're really thinking for startups, there is no other person than Mr. Anil to guide you in a perfect way. So when we talk about raising funds for a startup, how does it work? I mean, what are the steps involved? And we hear a lot about it. So how this whole process goes?
So, Devisha, before we get into the dynamics of how do we raise funds for the startups, we should first understand how do we make the startup fundable.
Okay.
There are myths about that. Okay, when I've created my startup, that means I can immediately go to the investor and raise capital. But that's not true. And during my interaction with more than 300 startups, especially during last 3 years at CapSavvy, I have observed many startups founders immediately rush for funding with just an idea. They do not even validate their idea with even their family members also, their friend circle also. set of people, external set of people, they don't discuss. And they think my idea is good enough to go for funding. So before they go for investment, there are multiple steps which a startup must address to make them ready for investment. And these steps will include not only just the capital, but the main is the time. So capital is not involved in terms of taking those steps, but the time is important. So you need to invest your time in analyzing your idea, in shaping up your idea. So first step is decide your main feature, what product that you are going to create, what services that you are going to create, what is the gap that you want to address to. And do survey if there is a need. If you are creating something innovation, then do survey whether there is a market available, because it's a new product. You don't know market exists or not. Create MVP. Now it is a very common term, MVP. So create MVP, that is minimum viable product. Create a prototype. Test your prototype with workable 100, 150, 200 people, potential customers, your family, friends. Test with them whether it is really useful for them. Then build a functional prototype. Again, there is not much of cost involved in the entire process. Only thing is the time is involved. And get action with the people, try monetizing that. Start with some monetization. That, okay, people are ready to pay for it. And develop it further based on the inputs from end user, and accordingly you go further. And then finally go for the potential investor. Then also there the need is, we should understand whether that particular investor has the ability to understand my sector, my services, my product. Then only they will be able to understand you, listen to you, and provide funding support to you. And most important, never give up. You should keep on trying. There are many examples where few of the unicorns of India, they have tried several times, more than 100 times, pitching to the investors. They got rejected, and now they are the unicorns in India. So keep trying.
Wow. So can you name them?
There are many. Ola is one of the example where it was rejected many times. And
because I'm sure my viewers will go back and give a Google search.
Correct.
So you have been investing a lot into the early stage startups, and recently you have created angel fund to provide funding support to early age startups. So can you share your thoughts on what you look in for a startup when you decide to invest from your perspective?
Sure. Yeah, Derisha, we have created this platform, CapSavvy Angels, where a lot of investors and the startups, they use this platform to come together, identify potential startups where they can collaborate, they can provide funding support, and grow together. And when we do evaluate, when we reach out to the investors, we do combination of factors which we use to study for our startups. And most important factors are four. That is founding team, the market size and the opportunity available, the business model strength, and the most important, every investor will look for is exponential returns, because it's a risky investment and returns are very important for them. So these factors I further divide into sub-elements, which include business model, market trend, the current financial and monthly run rate, financial projections, existing investor or the family friends who have trusted that particular founder, and what is the dilution of equity that they are ready to dilute, and the people behind the business, what is their strength in terms of education background or the family background or the passion towards creating the platform, and the competitive advantage. If they are creating the product, whether the competition is in existence, and if at all, what is the how do they compete with them and all, and the market size, the gap, the TAMs, and we use in our startup ecosystem, and the profit margin, and the most important, again I said, the returns are very important.
True.
So among all, the founding team, the market size, the opportunity, and the exponential returns, these are the 3 or 4 important factors which we consider before we invest.
Wow. So I'm sure they'll be getting a lot of insights about the capital funding and the funding, the whole concept of funding. So guys, if you have any questions related to sourcing your funds, please post in the comments below. So if not now, later Anil will come back and he'll definitely answer your questions, and we'll also add his contact details in the wall copy post. You can if you have any questions, you can directly ping him. for your questions. So, Anil, is there a checklist to do for a founder before seeking a fundraising or pitching an idea to a VC?
Yeah, Devisha, I would like to share my views and experience of connecting with startups, and have summarized in my own way 7 key elements or the to-do list that each startup must work upon before they go for investor, or before they pitch their business to the investors. So first and foremost is they should analyze what is the reason of their existence. Means you should be able to answer clearly what is the problem that they are solving, what is the value proposition that they are bringing on table, what is the proposition that they are going to give to the end user where they are solving the problem or the target customers. So the first and foremost is to analyze yourself the reason for existence, why are we creating this startup. And second, we should also think of imagine where we could be. We should think at long-term opportunity also, maybe 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line. What is the market that I am addressing? Global market size, the current market, Indian market size. And we need to evaluate larger potential of the market size in clear number. So my addressable opportunity or the size, and most important, positioning my segment that I am catering to. It is not the generic market, but my product or my services which I am catering to. And this has to be supported and validated by cross references in the primary surveys. And sometimes people come with gut feeling or own perception that this is the problem is available in the market, and I need to work upon it. But that doesn't work. We need to have a clear number in place. So imagine where we could be in terms of longer game. And third is why do people want this product? If I'm creating a product, why the other person would like to go for it? Or what is the painkiller that I am giving to them? That by taking my set of offering or my set of medicine, they are going to solve their pain. So means the product or the solution must act as a painkiller and should sell by itself. People should come on their own way to buy your product or services.
Very, very important point.
Yeah, it should fill up the vacuum or the existing gap of the need of the end user. And the fourth is why is the right time to invest, or why is the right time to build my startup? So means we should be able to define in clear terms as to why this is the right time to build and expand. Maybe due to ongoing post-pandemic impact, or maybe due to changing behavior of the consumer, or it may be due to advancement of the technology, or the people want more better services in comparison to the existing one. So my solution or product should become easier for the end user to enhance their life, their productivity, ease of experience, output, many things. Then the fifth is why is everyone not working on it? If I have created an innovative idea, then we should look at why people are not they have not gone into it.
Correct.
So establish that there are no existing players. First of all, we need to identify whether there are existing players. And if my solution or my product is different than existing players, then I should find out why other people will not be able to come into it. So what are the entry barriers to my product? And if there is a similar players available, then I need to analyze whether market demand is so huge that there is a room for coexistence, that I can also exist along with them. Like if I give example of online grocery. Online grocery is currently, India is catering to only 1%, 1.5% of the total grocery market available. Whereas in comparison to other countries, there are 10%, 15% or 5% in other developed countries where online grocery market is happening. So huge gap where multiple people can coexist. Only thing is we need to be more service oriented, where people can really find it more better services in comparison to their existing experience. And the sixth is why will we do better than other established players? So there are players available, but why do my product will be better? So that's what we need to do in terms of analyzing our product, our delivery, or maybe we have our strength in terms of operational excellence. So many factors which I can bring on table, maybe because of the software. And the last and most important, be ready with the objections. When you go to the investors, investor will ask many questions. So we should be ready with the objections. Those options could be the scalability or the fund utilization or the team profile or the market size or the proof of concept itself, the revenue traction, many other terms available like ARPU, repeat business, so many things. We should be ready with all those answers, and we should be ready with the objections also. These are the 3.7 commandments, I call them. So when we see to it that whether that startup is ready with those 7 commandments.
So those 7 are the basics, and plus there will be added questions. I'm sure Shark Tank India have also brought this a positive wave of having startups and entrepreneurs and encouraging them to explore the world of possibilities. So as a startup, Anil, tell us, as a founder of a startup, what are the key avenues or options from where a person can get funding?
So, Devisha, first and foremost, I would suggest all the startups, even though with little capital, but the most common funding should be the bootstrapping, that is self-financing or the own business. So, do it as an own business, as if you are able to invest your own capital, then only other people will believe on you. So, whether you raise your own capital or whether you bring your own capital or parents' money or your friend circle money, or try and get sales and get revenue out of that, that is also known as bootstrapping. So first and foremost is that bootstrapping is very much common, and people appreciate those kind of startups. And apart from that, there are many other options which include crowdfunding, incubators, accelerators, angel investment, seed capital, venture capital, microfinance, NBFCs. There are many government programs also where they provide funding support to startups. SIDBI has created a startup fund where they also invest in startups. Then there are schemes by various banks supported by Government of India. It is known as CGTMSE, which is Credit Guaranteed Fund Trust Micro and Small Enterprises, wherein startups can get, or the SMEs can get 2 crore of funding without any collateral. So there are multiple schemes available. Only thing is we need to analyze our eligibility and accordingly go for those kind of fundings. There are multiple mentors available where if we are finding it difficult to reach out to those kind of people, then we should look for mentors who can guide us in terms of raising funding. If the time permits, I can elaborate those funding. Otherwise, we can have a separate discussion on each.
But do you, like, if we have a startup, watching right now, so do you also mentor them or coach them or guide them? Do you provide that service to our?
Yes, we do provide from CapSavvy, from Cap70, and plus we have pool of mentors who are available on our board, where they can meet, they can share their issues and get more inputs from them in terms of growth and in terms of raising right capital for them.
Oh, that's wonderful. So friends, where you have to go. We have a very good expert right now in this series, and we'll be sharing his details in the wall copy post. Also, if you have any questions, write down in the comments below, and you can share this with your friends also who are planning to have a startup or who are already having a startup. So Anil, according to the previous belief of people, they used to start their own companies based on their prior experiences. But now many youngsters are also doing a lot of startup things, and they are they're coming up with a lot of innovative ideas. So what is your piece of advice to Gen Z, I would say, in that case?
There are many advice, especially I understand entrepreneurship.
So top 3, if I ask you, what are the top 3?
So if I share my own example, I was an ex-banker. I was in a job at a senior position for last 25 years, and before I started my company 3 years back before pandemic. And based on my journey of 28 years, where I have interacted with many founders, watched them, how did they grow from drawing board stage to a multi-billion-dollar company. So I can suggest that all the aspiring professionals and college students, you must aim for creating your own venture, own business. So if you are just passing out from your professional journey and want to go for job, but at some point of your life career ahead, you must think of creating your own journey to create wealth for yourself, wealth for your generations to come. And so I congratulate all the people who have already started their journey as a founder and now looking for growth. It's a great journey. I can share my own experience. I'm very, very happy with after starting my own venture. A few advices to you: get comfortable with the unknown. When you have started your own business, you are going to see very unknown things which you have never witnessed. So you be ready with that and do your decision making based on those new things which come into your journey. And show instead of telling. If you are doing something, instead of telling that you are going to do through your startup, rather you work upon it, you showcase to the people who belong to your ecosystem, show to them, and then people will come to you to give you funding support. There are many examples where we have come across. Rather, we are going behind them that you take my investment because I want your company to be on my portfolio.
Wow.
And the third is do anything and everything.
Wow.
In the initial stage, you don't get many people who will support you. So everything you have to do. I have learned from my mentor, Mr. Devashish Malik, who is ex-MD of Exim Bank, who is on the board of advisor also. He used to say, Anil, it's a journey where you should be ready with everything that comes into your way. You cannot be dependent on other people to support you. So once you have your own, you have burnt your finger, you have learned the journey, then people will also be available to support you. Plus, there are many things, Devisha, but these are three important things that
I suppose, this 20 minutes wala short crisp wala is too less to, understand this whole big subject. And we also have a couple of questions in the comments. So as we are, done with our timing, so I'll request you to come back, on the page and answer those queries. And even they'll be if you have more queries, please viewers, you can put down in the comments below. And I'm very much thankful to Mr. Anil for sharing this valuable information about funding, and we are great to have you on board. And we'll expect, I'll obviously make a point that we get back and we have you on the board very soon, because I know it's a very interesting and a very deep topic.
Thank you, Devisha. It was pleasure talking to you, and look forward to come back again. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. See you. I'll just